welcome to another week of the Abuse Cartoons live stream. And it looks like Twitch is still just a black screen, so I put a message there to try to send people to YouTube if they want to see something. I think the audio is still there, but the video is not going through. I have no idea what's going on. I think I need to switch how I'm streaming. I might try another client. Regular OBS is having a lot of trouble, or it might be the restreaming situation. Very strange. But anyhow, so sorry for the technical problems, and if you're on Twitch, I apologize for that. So you could try Facebook or YouTube at this point. But yeah, so Tasty Donut, I'm sorry, there was nothing to look at. Just a blank black screen and music. All right, so we're back again. Hey, how's it going, Joe? Damon, how's it going? Yeah, Joe is seeing right now the black abyss of Twitch. Yeah, so I have no idea what's causing that, and I don't think I can correct it while I'm streaming. I'd have to stop. Quit the stream, but I'll try. I have a test account for Twitch that I just used to test the camera setup and everything for the other channel. So I will do that in a bit. I think, yeah. So we'll see. Oh, and also, Joe, if you're listening, there won't be a weekly this week on the Ida Red Hands channel. So there's going to be a little bit of kind of rebranding and restructuring for that. And also Chris is sick, so I thought I would just take advantage of them being under the weather and not have an episode this week, and just kind of get things working, because last week it was a lot of frozen video. So the audio is finally working out really well for that stream, but the video has been really, really difficult. So I'll try to get that all sorted out and be back in 2 weeks. So you are, hey Rev, how's it going? Yes, there's no stream. There's just a black screen. Yeah, it's very strange. I wasn't even, because before, when I had a black screen, I would at least get a flash of the frame that I was sending, like the first frame that it tried to pick up, and then it would go to black. So I have no idea. Yeah, I wonder if I did something to make Twitch angry. You know, if something got caught on Twitch. I have no idea. But yeah, Joe. So I appreciate you you being the faithful moderator for the weekly. So there won't be anything this week. I'll probably do like an unboxing or something tonight on that channel, just to kind of keep things going. And it's also something I wanted to do before the next weekly, because I'll be talking about the company and the game that I was dealing with. So yeah, so that'll be a little bit of, there's going to be some rebranding and restructuring. The original people that were doing that podcast want to kind of move it in another direction, or I guess go back to its roots and what they were initially doing. So I think it's going to be more of just an audio thing for a while. So yeah, so I'll be sure to get links and get everything updated when stuff moves. And yeah, I'm not looking forward to moving podcast episodes. I got to double check the best way to do that. That's going to be tricky, because I have to rebuild the RSS feeds for both of those podcasts. So I'll have to read and see the the best way not to ruin it, not to duplicate or confuse all the listing services. All right, but yay, it's tax day, or almost, not quite, I guess, in North America. But oh, it's still the wrong, oh, it's a brush, that's why. Yeah, but I guess they gave us another extension this year. So we have until May to screw things up. And I also saw the if you didn't get any of the emergency, I forget what they were even calling them, but the support checks for the pandemic, you can request those as well. That's really, I mean, it's amazing, billion, or millions of people, and they have had to send 3 separate payments out, and still screwed it up. And there are people that, I remember when they were talking from the first round, there were people that didn't cash, they received checks and didn't cash them, or maybe had checks intercepted that were uncashable because they're those IRS checks. So who knows, those federal rainbow federal government checks. So I have no idea how that's all gonna shake out. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I wonder if. So I'll try some testing on another channel and see if it just like suddenly works fine. Then I'll have to suspect that I said something that triggered that triggered Twitch in my talking about movies or something. I don't know what exactly I could have done. But I've heard there's new naughty words on YouTube as well. Some people have been bleeping things that I've never heard before. They're not profanity, but words that I may be triggering or something. So there are new naughty words on YouTube, and people have gotten demonetized, so they've started bleeping them out of videos. It's crazy. Yeah, I even heard somebody was talking about Twitch is now like paying attention. Like you can lose your Twitch account for things that you don't do on Twitch. Like they're completely legitimizing like stuff that doesn't happen on their platform but makes you a bad person. I don't know. It's going to be thought crime pretty soon. You're going to just be prejudged as a person. You're going to have to answer a series of questions and say, well, from the answers you gave, we don't think you're a good person and you don't deserve a platform, or you don't deserve an account on our platform. Yeah, I don't know where all this is headed. But it's just going to be the Chinese social credit system with a different coat of paint on it. We're going to feel justified in deplatforming and silencing people. We don't have to, like the Chinese don't have to pretend, or I guess they have to pretend that it's going against the state. It's actively working against the government. So you're dangerous in that way. But we'll just just people will be dangerous in this like completely abstract moral way that they can't interact with polite society. I can't wait. But yeah, I saw somebody was going on about that, and I don't know any of the details, but I was really surprised because Twitch is Amazon, right? So yeah, I wonder if that's had an influence. But I think they've owned it for a while. Amazon bought Twitch a while ago, so I have no idea. I don't know if they kept things intact or if they completely, changed the management. But it's funny, Amazon made that move. Like they bought Twitch and then they started a gaming studio and they've not released a game. Like I think the plan was, okay, we have this streaming platform, a popular game streaming platform. Let's make games, and they just can't do it. That's really bizarre. But it is funny. I mean, I've dealt with, on a much smaller scale, dealt with people that have these like delusionary ideas. Well, this is making money, so let's chase this. And especially like in the mobile game world and stuff, chasing success seems to be a popular thing to do. And if you can move fast, like if you have cheap programmers and can just kind of clone things. I mean, it is possible in a very scummy way to do that, but you can't do that like semi-legitimately. Like if you're going to be even slightly moral about it and just kind of take an idea or a game mechanic that seems popular and try to duplicate that success, it's just not gonna work. There's not enough luck in the world. All the what was it when I got caught up in that? It was like Flappy Bird and stuff. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, he's making so much money," and it was one person making such a simple game. This has to be recreatable. And the thing that was interesting is that original creator was disgusted by the success, and even I think it was making money. It was only monetized by ads, and so he eventually turned off the ads because he was disgusted by kind of how popular it had gotten for no particular reason. I'm forgetting some parts of that story, but it was very odd. But I just remember hearing about that constantly back in the day. God. Yikes. But I'm glad I'm not doing that anymore. I mean, it's fun to move fast with like coming up with a concept and doing character art and backgrounds and stuff, but we didn't have reliable programming support or anything, so that ended up being a real waste of time. So many stories. Yeah, Amazon owned. Yeah, I wonder if that's part of the because Amazon doesn't really have any, because apart from their like review section on their retail site, they don't really have a social platform, do they? So I guess this is the first we're seeing of how they would run something like that by what they're doing with Twitch. And there was an attempt to dethrone Twitch. I think that was Microsoft, wasn't it, that did the supposedly competing platform, and they bought off some popular streamer and then just nothing. All right, boxes, enough boxes. So it's very strange. Yeah, we're getting really high numbers now, like highest ever numbers of people with bad weather syndrome. So it's a little scary, and it's kind of going into the more rural parts. Like the numbers are getting higher in less populated areas, so that's a little weird. But I'm anticipating that they're not going to count Tokyo very accurately because the Olympics are coming. We've got like 90 days or whatever, so I have a feeling the numbers are going to get really low in Tokyo right before the Olympics. Not because they're trying to get people to come, but because they want the athletes to not boycott, the countries not to boycott for the fear of the safety for the athletes. So I have a feeling that number is mysteriously going to be, the rest of the country is going to be in bad shape, but the largest city in the country will be, no, it's fine, it's negligible. So I have no idea. And then so there's new efforts to limit, kind of new not curfews, but shutting things down earlier and limiting kids after school, because school's back in session now. This is kind of the spring break is the summer break, so the new school year started, and so clubs and things, which are the equivalent of like after school, like sports teams and everything are based in clubs here. So you just meet after school in your soccer club or school band club, whatever, but they're all called clubs. And some of them keep you at school pretty late, so I think they're trying to discourage that. And it's usually just a bunch of kids hanging out in a classroom. or, in the gym. So we'll see. Oh, that's right. I wanted to try some donut type box. So we'll see how this goes. So yeah, people are now getting more uncomfortable about traveling. The trains are really crowded now. I went to the university on Wednesday, and the students are not there again because the university shut down for a week. They had a little bit of a scandal, like a social media scandal, and they opened completely, and we're going to stop doing remote classes for this new school year. And someone took some photos of a crowded campus. I mean, all the people, kids are wearing masks and everything. Kids, very are very safe here for the most part. I mean, university students are, not just the hanging out kids. The convenience store kids, I don't think, care so much. But took some photos of a crowded campus at lunchtime with kids just sitting everywhere, trying to find a place to eat, and posted that on social media, and people freaked out. And then the board, or the management of the university is like, okay, shut down. We have to start remote lessons again. So shut down, and let's gear up. So I know I said we won't be doing those anymore, but after this bad PR, we're gonna have to resume, because they have to do both. They have to have this hybrid thing, because they have to offer parents that want their kids to physically go to the school, they have to be allowed to do that with social distancing and safety. But then kids that feel unsafe have to have an alternative. So that was the virtual classes. I don't know what they're using, but Skype style lectures and things. And so they canceled that because they're trying to look like everything was under control. Oh, and the really interesting thing is they got these crazy thermometers. So it's a giant LED screen, and it's a big LED, like a monitor, and you walk up to it, and it just it's like taking your picture basically, but then it gives you your temperature. Your temperature is automatically taken, and then it dispenses alcohol. So it's very, I'm sure they were really expensive, but they put those everywhere, going onto the campus, so as to look safe as possible. But I think that causes quite a backup. But they were having the security do that with the little temperature guns. So they just tried to automate it a little bit and made these weird little monitors. But they have the base, and everything looks like those greeting robots that who was making those? I forget which Japanese company was making those. But it has that weird pedestal, so it's that sci-fi look. Mixer, Joe, thank you. Yeah, Microsoft's Mixer. So is that a dead thing? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. I think that's what they plan on doing, is to just have a spectatorless Olympics. The cool thing will be that Japan loves their technology, and I think it's NHK or whoever is covering it. They already have insane 8K cameras and stuff. So if you don't have to respect the view lines and whatever sight lines of an audience, then they can put a ton more cameras and things in the actual competition areas, the stadiums and things, and so that should be pretty cool. The coverage will be pretty amazing, but it's also going to be the Japan time for the rest of the world. So we'll see. So I don't know what they're going to do, and I don't know if they're even going to let domestic fans, because they already did a lottery 2 years ago. They did a lottery for tickets for Japanese nationals, for whatever blocks of tickets they were holding. So I'm not sure if they're going to let domestic spectators go or not. So we'll find out. All right. But yeah, there was just some announcement that they vow to have the Olympics, something really ridiculous. So it's the gimmick in very Japanese style. It's the 2020 plus one Olympics. Yeah, so the plus one is the way they're going to title it. Yeah, yeah. Japanese. I mean, Japanese TV is like not great for the most part, but yeah, people update their TVs pretty crazily. Yeah, everyone that I've seen's got a pretty nice, but they don't go as crazy size wise, I guess, because of the size of the house. So you don't have like the 100 inch or 120 inch like crazy panels that you might have in the U.S. here. Um, like I think 60 is kind of the biggest I've seen. Like a 60-inch TV is like the biggest I've seen in someone's house, and these are people money, they could afford whatever. At the stores they have the 85 and the 100-inch display models, but I've never seen one of those in anybody's house. Just because it's so overwhelming in the scale of a Japanese house. It's like an entire wall of a room. So you have this giant black slab. If it's not on, it's a giant black slab, and if it's on, then it's like just it dominates. Its presence kind of dominates the room. So yeah, but I think people love the technology, and the streaming is kind of catching up. Finally, the streaming services are now all available in Japan. So I think people, they're really slow to cut cords here, and they're even slow. There are still people renting physical discs, physical DVDs in Japan. Like I'm talking to people, they're saying, "Oh, yeah, I went to the store to rent that, but it wasn't, it was already rented out," and that was like time travel to hear something. It was like somebody from like 20 years ago telling you some rental story. That was really bizarre to hear someone say, "Yeah, it was already rented." And like, oh right, yeah, we used to have to like wait for one of the 5 copies of a movie to come back in. But there's still people, yeah, doing so, clinging to physical media. And I think because a lot of the companies here, TV companies and things, were slow to adopt streaming and online stuff, just because they're worried about the security of it, that physical media is still, and also people love magazines and books and stuff, so CDs and DVDs go along with that. Yeah, but people like TV, and Japanese TV is like, very made for Japanese people. It's like, it's pretty unwatchable if you're outside the culture. It's just like, what's going on? Yeah, the silliness of it is it's charming, but it's kind of stuck in a weird a weird time bubble. It seems like 70s, it seems like really high tech, really advanced 70s television in America, because there's still like variety shows and singing competitions, like not singing to be famous competitions, like singing to see how good you can sing competitions. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you're not like going to Hollywood or going to Las Vegas or whatever. If you win, you don't win. You just show off about it, just like going to any karaoke bar or whatever, karaoke box. You're just trying to show off how well you can sound like a famous singer or whatever. But yeah, the TV is a pretty staple thing. I don't know too many people. I haven't met any like native Japanese people that say, "Oh no, I don't watch television." That's not like a stance very much here. Where a lot of people are just like, "Yeah, I don't own a television because I never watch it." That I've never heard anybody say that here. But yeah, they have a lot of very funny TV. But yeah, and the programming is like, it's very specifically geared. I mean, the budgets of a lot of Japanese television is so low that it's not good. And sometimes they're just like imitating. Like they did a Japanese remake of 24 just recently, and it was literally just a remake. Like they took the English scripts and translated them and kind of added the things that didn't make any sense. I think I talked about this when it was first out, but they added things that don't make sense in a cultural context. So they like in the first episode of the first season of 24, the Jack Bauer's daughter, spoilers, kind of sneaks out of her house, and has like a naughty girlfriend. It's just a friend, like a friend from school or whatever, but she's a little bit more, sexually aggressive, and is going to get her into trouble, and is kind of pushing the daughter kind of out of her comfort zone to, like, go hang out with these guys. And they had to have, in the Japanese version, this whole elaborate, to keep the daughter pure, Jack Bauer's daughter character, to keep that character pure. Sorry, what is going on here? Let go, relent. They had to, and they also, like, cast her much younger, which was a little creepy. So she was like junior high school looking compared to high school looking, and they even, like, commented on that. But she has this, like, aggressive, naughty friend, and they had to do this whole scene that set up their meeting and how they became friends, because I don't think they thought it was believable that the daughter of the main guy's, the super reliable heroic character, his daughter would be so bad. So she has to be good and pure and has to be corrupted somehow. So they had to explain how innocently she fell in with these naughty people that are involved with terrorism or whatever. So there's weird extra explanations, because I think the suspension of disbelief is different in Japan than America. Like, we will accept teenagers being more adult or being involved in more dangerous behavior, and in Japan it's not. It's weird. It was really weird to watch the extra effort they went to make sure that you understood she was a good character, and things just went, fate was just against her. Yeah, so that was odd. But yeah, just the budget of everything, and they don't do that thing, like, if they don't shoot it on film, everything's shot on video, and if they or digitally, and if they don't, if it's not shot on film, they don't even process it to look like film or anything. So there isn't even the illusion. Like, a lot of American shows that are shot digitally don't look like video. They still have a film look to them. And in Japan, everything looks really cheap, and so you can't, like, the cinematography or whatever of the actual aesthetics of the show, you can't even care about lighting or framing or anything, because everything just looks terrible. And they're shooting it pretty fast and cheap, so it has a very different quality. Very few shows put any money into the look of the shows, so it has a kind of cheap feeling that takes you out of it a little bit. And because it's so small, they basically, everything is shot in Tokyo, so they everything's really recognizable. Like, if you know that area at all, everything is super recognizable. So I guess it's like living in LA and watching television, and you're just like, oh yeah, there's that's a gas station that I go to on my way to work every day. It's a little bit like that, where, like, certain scenes, like bridges and restaurants and hotels and stuff, are super recognizable. So it's a little odd. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, what was the somebody was hosting that. Yeah, it was I don't know, it's like ninja something or samurai something, that they put some funny Japanese yeah, out of context word in there. Yeah, but that's a pretty famous. There still is that kind of challenge. I forget. I think Takashi Kitano used to host that, like, back in the 80s, and I think it's changed since then. But that still is like a competition that people train for. There's like a lot of firefighters and stuff that, like, that's their hobby, is training for that show. It's just like an obstacle course, like a really extreme obstacle course show. But yeah, then some of the things they have to do. Oh, so what they'll do, just like with the Olympics or whatever, like, they'll do the backstory of the person before they compete. So you'll see, like, in their backyard, they've, like, recreated as many of the obstacles as they can to train, and they show their extreme training regime, and yeah, it's pretty funny. But they try to give you some. So before, I guess they do that with like uh, um, American Idol and stuff too. They give you background, and oh, his mom's sick, and he's doing it for his grandma, and what you know. They always have these kind of heart wrenching stories that put you on their side, and then they show them compete. So they do the same thing with that obstacle show. Give you a little background. Yeah, yeah. I forget what the. I don't even remember the American title. But yeah, that still goes on. I haven't caught it in a while, but that still goes on. And then they have a lot of kind of prank shows, and the pranks are pretty cruel. Like there's some pretty crazy stuff. Like there was a thing where they would it was all comedians. So it was like Japanese comedians, and a lot of comedians are real nerdy, kind of socially clumsy guys, and they had this situation where I think they were like staying in a dormitory or a hotel, and they were filming them in the shower, and they would have some guy, like I think once they were dressed as Spider-Man, and then other times they're dressed as like a like a yokai kind of ghost or character, and then have them come out of the ceiling. So they wait until the person's like washing their face or whatever, like shampooing their hair, and they would come out of the ceiling and touch them and stuff. And of course the bathroom is all there's hidden cameras all over in the bathroom, but some of the people would just freak out, and because it's a shower, like it's slippery, and they're slipping on soap and falling down and running out of the room. And yeah, so they do some pretty cruel prank stuff. They don't because in America you can kind of play with like social stuff, like having someone do something in public and people's different reactions, like fake some kind of domestic thing or whatever. You can set up some things, and people will all react differently. That doesn't work so well here, so they have to do like really cruel tricks to kind of semi-famous people. That's much more popular. But yeah, and another thing you see a lot, which is kind of like the big one of the big stunts that they'll always use, is they'll be, and I think I've talked about this before, they'll make these pits, and they'll be full of just foam, be like big, just walled and just full of big foam blocks and stuff. So I guess it's a pretty safe landing. But you'll have people, like, they'll drive somebody up to where they're supposed to shoot some TV show or whatever, and they'll get out of the car and they'll walk immediately into this. So they'll just like suddenly fall into this pit, and it's a pretty long drop, and their facial expression is just like sheer panic. It's not like funny. It's really horrifying, like how scared they are, because they're just suddenly just dropping into a hole. And I'm sure there probably is a way to hurt yourself doing that, even though it's all foam. But that's a really common thing, is like you just see somebody walking and they just fall straight into, and that's the surprise of that. I guess they like for the TV audience, I think they like that, but the horror on the faces of the people going through that, kind of makes you a little bit sympathetic. Yeah, but there's almost like it's a strange kind of hazing, like people that aren't super famous, they'll take advantage of that, like people's like desire to be well known or whatever as an actor or a comedian or whatever. So they kind of punish you or kind of haze you if you're a lower level something, and you kind of just have to accept going through that kind of stuff. And the same way too, they'll if people need to promote a movie or something, they'll make them do kind of weird, embarrassing things, like eat really spicy food, or sing when they can't sing or something. Do something to try to embarrass them a little bit, as kind of the price you have to pay for promoting your movie or TV show or whatever. But I've noticed that there's a lot more kind of hazing style things. So they're much crueler to celebrities, and especially like not the A-list celebrities. They're pretty cruel to them and make them kind of suffer for their art, or at least their fame or their position. So let me move this. Yeah, my green screen is still a dirty mess. It looks like I need to wash the corners of the screen. Yeah, I guess you can see around my hand. Yeah, I still don't have it's not keying very well. I've got an outline. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty funny. Very different. And you can see the attitude too of a lot of famous people, like when they do behind the scenes and they show actors on the set and like different takes of the same scene. You know, the actors are treated pretty roughly, and they're just like, you know, this way, you know, face this way and do this, and like so they're treated more like, you know, they're posing mannequins, or like they're just equipment that they're, you know, that they need to film a scene. So they don't, you know, have this, you know, they won't argue with the director and they go stomping off to their trailer. I think like you might get in American productions, everyone's pretty humble, and they're just there to do the job. So the crew and the actors are kind of indistinguishable as far as how they're kind of struggling and you know, the kind of, you know, kind of frantic, you know, feeling of them, like, oh, okay, well, okay, and then they'll be actually like physically doing something to, you know, move something around in the scene or whatever. It's not like they're just sitting there perfectly waiting for you know, the cameras to roll. It's there's a very different attitude. And I guess because it's not, you're not so you're not rewarded so generously like in Hollywood or, you know, other industries. And they know they can go away. Like there's a bunch of people waiting to take their place. So they're much more humble and willing to, like, you know, work hard for it. As opposed to once they reach a certain level of just, you know, feeling more untouchable and like, well, I'm making, you know, money for this studio, so they better treat me a certain way. I mean, sure there is that. But I was just surprised seeing those differences. All right, a long open box. Yeah. Weird. I wonder if I ever know what is going on with Twitch. Yeah, it's very funny. It's detecting something is there, so I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. And yeah, everything else seems to be working okay. Oh, I didn't check Facebook. That's another one that was that's got really crazy filters, or filters. What am I saying? I guess the bots or whatever. The ID, like the kind of the equivalent of content ID on Facebook, is really crazy. I have no idea where I need to go here. Oh, there we go. Yep, it looks like. Yep, yeah, Facebook is working too. So it's just Twitch. I'll have to do some tests, like just specifically on Twitch, and see if it's my OBS setting. Yeah, I'm really having, and it's all updated. I mean, it's not like I'm using weird old versions of anything. Everything's updated. So I don't know. Yeah, so I got to come up with another name and another logo and everything for the game stuff that I'm gonna do. I have some domains already that might work for a gaming channel, but I'll be rebranding. I'll be spending this week rebranding all that stuff. So I'll post all those links once I start building websites and setting up channels. So that should be fun. Yeah, I don't know. I should. I think OBS is good because it, you know, bugs you often for updates. Yeah. I think I'm current on everything. I wonder what's going on. And sometimes the because this was a new computer and a new setup, so I don't think I tweaked any of the settings. And some of the platforms want like a slightly different frame rate or something, so you kind of have to do like a happy medium with what you're outputting for the stream. So I wonder if I'm just like sending you know, Twitch just said, yeah, no, we're not gonna display that. What you're sending is not is unacceptable, because I remember getting those warnings. And I think it was from because it's a Restream. I'm using the Restream.io, so I'm sending it to there with OBS, and then it's sending them, sending supposedly optimized restreams of that. And it was, yeah, when that first came out too, there wasn't anything domestic. There wasn't anything in Japan, no servers in Japan, so I had to use Korea. So the very beginning of the stream, I'm streaming from Korea, so it was a little weird. But now there's a super fast Tokyo server, so it finally was usable. But I don't know. I don't know if I should go with, because Streamlabs now lets you multi-stream, and I wonder if I should just go with Streamlabs OBS and then have all of that, you know, all the functionality built in. I don't know. Hey K5, how's it going? Nice. Everyone's got a wrench. We'll have to have different colors of wrench, I think. I think we're going to have to make wrenches, but they're going to have these... they'll be like an elite status. They'll be like a platinum wrench that only the longest, most loyal viewers can have. And that lets you do crazy things. Like that lets you like turn the lights on and off in people's houses and stuff. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so numbers are all up, and so people are getting all paranoid here. And yeah, I think because the spring was this time where people were trying to kind of renew and be excited about, you know, there being an end to things or whatever. Even though we're way behind in the vaccine, I don't think we're going to be. It's going to be late summer or fall before they're even going to offer vaccines to, you know, less, you know, at-risk people that aren't frontline or at risk. I think right now the priority is over 80 years old. That tells you a little bit about Japan. I don't think there's that many over 80 years old people in America, but they're starting with the over 80 years old crowd in Japan. Right. Yeah, I'm just doodling random stuff. A gorilla. Oh man. Oh wait, I'm doing this kind of the wrong angle, but it's okay. It may still work. So yeah, now that I'm going to be kind of doing my own thing for the game stuff, I don't know what to do. Now I guess, you know, when you can do anything, then you're like, oh yeah, what do I want to do? So you have to figure that out. Figure out what the next move is. But I'll definitely keep doing those lore videos, those kind of pre-rendered CG video things. Those are fun. So that'll keep happening, and I'm sure things will keep coming in the mail. Actually, I got like a really scary notification from one of the couriers that transport stuff from China to Japan, and I guess there's been some backup or something with shipping, because I'm getting a ton of stuff this week. They warned me there's like 3 giant crates of stuff headed my way, so I'll have to see what actually shows up. But yeah, the cool thing about that is when something like for Kickstarters, or when things are first released, because we're so close to the factories, you get stuff really early in Japan, unless it's a company that like produces in China and then takes it to their warehouse in England or Eastern Europe or whatever, and then kind of bundles everything together, like packages everything together, so they just get the parts and then they put things together. And especially if they're like doing printed like books or something that they want to print somewhere else, like they want to do higher quality books than they can do in China, so they'll print them domestically or whatever, then they'll assemble everything. And then Japan is last. Japan doesn't even get, I love that when they do zones and shipping and everything, we're just like rest of the world, it's like the rest of Gilligan's Island. We're just miscellaneous, which I think there'd be good customer bases for a lot of that stuff here. But I think it feels so out of the way for a lot of countries that they don't think about it. Rest of the world. So I live in the rest of the world. mm. Oh wow. That's a hard job. Definitely streaming, streaming at the level and the intensity that Hyphonics does stuff is pretty amazing. It's got to be really hard to maintain. And it's just the demands of the time demands and just the energy demands. It's amazing that everybody isn't on speed, just to be able to do that. Everyone doesn't have like a meth problem just so they can have the energy and put in the hours. Although then maybe the crash would be pretty brutal to be able to get through that. Yeah, I wonder if that would if that's ever going to become a thing, because especially if people are competitive, if there's performance enhancing substances that the platforms are going to start busting people or banning people for obviously having physical symptoms of using things that are illegal, or that they're suspecting they're doing something illegal, just like cross-country truck drivers or whatever you want to stay awake as long as possible. So I wonder if it's going to become a streaming thing, because it's a young person's game, but if you started as a young person doing it, you don't want to lose your competitive edge there. So there's ways to chemically get around that. I wonder if that's going to be a thing that we'll see. I'm sure we're already seeing it. It's just you can't on camera tell as easily. But yeah, that's hard. But it is probably going to be like professional sports to a certain extent. Like you get to get to an age where it's just, you can't do it anymore. I mean, this is the level of energy that I'm able to maintain. So I could probably do this until I'm quite old, but people that are bigger personalities and have a much different atmosphere and energy level, that's got to just get harder and harder to do. So I wonder if there's going to be kind of aging out of certain things. But there'll be other platforms, and especially if you have that ability or that skill to create an audience or create a following like that, I think you might be able to just direct that in other places or other ways. I think about that always with the the singers, especially like from the 70s, that like sang, they chose to go really high and do like really like falsetto or really high vocals, in especially like a lot of rock music and stuff, like 70s rock, and then how they must regret that now that they're in their 60s and 70s. They can't maintain that voice. They can't hit any, well, even like Led Zeppelin, the when they did their kind of reunion-y tour, Robert Plant can't do any of that stuff that he used to be able to do vocally. And he was, like a serious, like he was a serious, almost like a studio musician before Led Zeppelin. So he was like, thought of his voice. He treated his, voice very carefully and seriously. And so he should have been able to maintain, but like physically, I think you can just, fall out. There's very few people that are able to do that. But yeah, that's got to be, you made those choices a long time ago, and I'll be young forever. I'll always be able to sing like this. And then you get famous for singing a song a certain way. Or like that was the most heartbreaking, was listening to like Whitney Houston try to sing songs that what she could do when she was young, after she had smoked too much, whatever she was smoking, freebasing cocaine or whatever she had done with her life. And that was really sad to hear her just kind of give up, kind of drop out of some of those octaves. Crazy. More boxes. Alright, well, I'm not getting any closer to any ideas here. Yeah, I found something very odd at the convenience store, so I'll share that a little bit later. Huh. I've got my keyboard in a really weird angle. I can't see it under the mic, or the microphone is kind of blocking it. Oh, how did I do that? But yeah, very odd. Alright, so I've got bags and boxes of things. Nothing's coming to mind. I guess I should do a tax day joke, shouldn't I? Because I do have April. I failed to do an April Fool's joke. That's funny this year. The cartoons landed on for the 1st and 15th. Ramen flavored Skittles. Yeah, right. Yeah, I haven't. Some of the import stores have Skittles here, but they don't have any good Skittles equivalent. No, these are lemon flavored collagen marshmallows. I have no idea what that means, like why the combination of those things is very odd. But yeah, I think they're supposed to be kind of a girl's thing, maybe. I'm guessing the collagen is a very good for your skin thing that they put in food here. And the flavor is a very summer flavor, so we'll see. But the giant iced coffees are coming back. Yeah, that's one thing the convenience stores just started to do maybe like 3 years ago. They'll do iced coffee, but they did small, medium, large, and large is just tiny. But now they do mega size. So a mega size is closer to maybe a venti, a Starbucks venti. Whoop. So you can actually, and they're still like $2 or whatever. They're still really cheap. So yeah, that's a nice thing. But they go away, of course, in the winter. But it's so damn hot here. It's nice to be able to buy a giant iced coffee, shrimp covered donuts. I'm gonna find all of those things. Just watch. Ramen flavored Skittles would be the biggest challenge, I think. Yeah, I think the only, I mean, a couple of the other, like Pocky does a little bit, but nobody does the crazy flavors like Kit Kat. I really think the Kit Kat company is completely out of control. There's a the Gari Gari Kun, the ice ice bar that's pretty popular kind of all over Asia. They do weird flavors too. Like they do too many flavors. There's like a cream stew popsicle or like spaghetti and meatballs kind of popsicle. I think it's just spaghetti. I think it's just like a pomodoro sauce or something spaghetti. It's something very strange. Yeah, but they do some really like bizarre, not sweet, kind of savory flavored popsicle, like ice bar kind of ice candy. I think they call them, and that's just really weird. And sometimes like even Japanese don't like the flavors because you'll see like a new flavor, like they'll open a box in the little freezer section at the convenience store. They'll open a box and not a single bar is missing. You go back a week later, not a single bar is missing. Like no one's even gonna risk, and eventually they just disappear. So sometimes, yeah, they guess wrong about what people are willing to try. But especially like seafood and stuff is just ugh. There's no way I want a popsicle or something icy on a stick to taste like fish. Ugh. Yeah, it's brutal. Alright. Yeah, I haven't watched anything. Oh, no, that's not true. I did. I hate watched something. I started out trying to like it, but I haven't watched any movies, but I did get through the HBO Max series, Raised by Wolves. It was produced by Ridley Scott, and has the like kind of tone. It's kind of sci-fi, the same kind of tone of Prometheus, like without any what's that connection directly to Alien or anything. It doesn't have that, and it's written by somebody else. I think it's just produced by Ridley Scott, but it's got that weird tone of combining kind of classical mythology and whatever with kind of lame sci-fi. But first few episodes, I was okay getting into it. It's like, okay, what are they setting up? What are they setting up? And then I wonder if this format, the kind of mini season or whatever, that the streaming format of like 8 to 10 episodes for a season, and they release a first season, then wait to get renewed. I wonder if this is just going to go away because it's very rarely done well. Yeah, so they were obviously stretching the story because there were some episodes that it was just like, why are we doing this? Nothing has happened. You haven't hit any particular next story point or whatever. It's just like, yeah, really, really dragging things out. So they should just let the show be however many episodes, like 5 or 7 or 11 or just an odd number, just so they can give it the correct amount of time. Because when they are trying to force it into 8 or 10, just like with regular television, you get those episodes that were obviously like they're out of budget and they're some of the actors weren't available, so there's very odd episodes. But there was a little bit of that, and so I'm wondering how as a kind of a format, how long that's going to last, because it's weird. Because sometimes you want that, like you see there's a movie that you really like the world, and you wish they spent more time with the characters, and so okay, maybe that would have made a nice mini series, kind of one season of streaming. But I think for the most part, the economical kind of quick, you know, telling of a story is probably better. Yeah. Uh-oh. The video... Oh, video download was canceled. Oh, no. Yeah, yeah, K5, yeah. I'm blacked out on Twitch. Yeah, I still have no idea. I'll have to do some testing and see. I wonder, yeah, I hope I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, did you? Oh, you saw that? Yeah. Joe, yeah, I wasn't I kind of lost my I like the idea, but I lost my what am I doing here? I lost it by the end. I was like, what are they trying to do? Because they were kind of setting up a like there's like a Romulus and Remus, you know, mythology, and then there was almost a weird Adam and Eve thing happening at the end because I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, things ended up being other than they thought, and I loved the opposed factions. I really liked the atheist and the kind of the I forget what they're called, but they worship Saul like they were a sun religion. I liked that opposition, so I was really interested in seeing what they were gonna do with that. And then they also did a thing where there were traitors. You know, there were kind of embedded spies, kind of traitors on the other side. So that was pretty cool to start off with a really confused. So you had two factions opposing each other. One that believed in pure logic, and they created these kind of a pioneer or a settler kind of androids to as the safest way to take to colonize, to take people to find new places to live. But I really liked the setup of it, and then I was just like, what are they doing? What are they doing? It didn't, yeah, they didn't bounce off of that enough. But it was cool that people finding faith, like the imposters, the traitor characters finding faith was that's a cool idea. I like that. I thought that was very interesting. But yeah, it didn't do it. I don't know. There was just some stuff, so I started to kind of just like watch it just to watch it and just be angry about like how it wasn't going anywhere in some some parts of the story, and how they use the kids. I don't like when you use kids to just kids do stupid random shit, and then that advances the story. Like you need to get somebody to somewhere or whatever, so a kid just goes, well, I can't stand it, and it runs away. I'm like, okay, now the characters can go here because this kid decided to just have a little freak out or whatever. I don't like the convenience of some of that storytelling where it just feels like that's something a kid would do, right? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, what was yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was. I think some of the tone just kind of reminded me of the kind of condescending tone of Prometheus. That weird whatever they were doing. Um, pretending to be an Alien prequel, but not being an Alien prequel. But okay, I guess we're an Alien prequel, whatever. Because then Covenant came out. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Oh, but yeah, something about the number of episodes. Yes, so shoot. Yeah, I wish they could have like left some things less answered, and it might have been a little more interesting. But yeah, I forget what it was that I was thinking. But yeah, I loved a lot of the costume design and stuff. There was some really cool stuff, and it was an interesting take on Android or androids, I guess, human shaped robots. It was an interesting take, and they did interesting separations of these are the different models and things. So you had a little bit of the kind of Blade Runner replicant thing feeling with the older and newer models, and then also all the more Isaac Asimov stuff, like robots serving people. But yeah, great visuals. There's some really cool visuals and stuff. Humorous, just streaming at or below 60. Oh, thank you. Excellent. Thanks, K5. Yeah, I'll have to check what I'm actually sending. What I'm actually sending to Twitch. Yeah, I guess that would depend on what's coming out of here, right? I love how many things. Oh, yeah. I'm at 10. I'm at 10K. That's probably why. Yeah, my bit rate is 10K. So yeah, I'll take that down for next time. I don't think I can change it now, but I'll take that down, and hopefully there'll be a screen will show up. Thanks, I appreciate that. Nice. Yeah, the default OBS, because I didn't change anything I had in the previous setups, but with this latest setup I hadn't changed anything, and obviously Twitch had enough of my nonsense. It was working for a while there, though. That was funny, and now it's just like, yeah, we're not picking up what you're putting down. Your bitrate is all kinds of fucked up. Yeah. Yeah, everything, and that sucks. Like multiple streaming to multiple platforms means every platform's gonna have its own little kind of stupid uh, idiosyncrasies, and I gotta, yeah. Plus, they change things, so you gotta kind of cat and mouse figure out what exactly went wrong. But I guess, when you think about that, ultimately, that sounds like it goes against everything. In the analog world, that feels ridiculous, but it's a pretty small price to pay for having, this kind of access. Like I'm streaming from Japan to, all over the world, and having, interacting with people from, North America just as easily as I would if they were right next door. That's insane that it's so easy and so free. Like there's so many completely free ways. You just need a PC and an internet connection, but other than that, there's no cost to broadcasting on the level of a small television or radio station, where you used to have to buy a $100,000 license or whatever to even get going, depending on your broadcast strength and everything. And now the strength of your broadcast is everywhere, everything except China, I guess. Yeah, it's crazy. But I'm sure I'm available on VPN in China. Yeah, appreciate that very much. I'll make that change and try a test with my other Twitch account, so I don't pop up doing nothing for no reason. But that doesn't work, does it? This is not quite the right size. Yeah, I should have known the default setting. Oops. I should have known the default setting. Took a little piece right out of there. Was not gonna hang in there. Alright, something like that. Looks like it actually goes on there. Hello again, Joe from Twitchland. Yeah, I don't think I can change it while I'm streaming, so I will try again next week. Why is the screen black? Because I suck. I don't know. Am I explaining myself? Yes, people love weird pandering. But yeah, it works kinda in other places. Yeah, so stupid. Report playback issue. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they don't have. Oh, there we go. I reported the issue. It's just going to say, it's your fault. Yeah, it's funny that with OBS being open source, that somebody didn't, they're not building into it. Yeah, Twitch needs this. YouTube wants this, whatever. All the different platforms, what they're kind of looking. You'd have to individually go check each of them. All right. Yeah, maybe they... Oh, and that might be where I'm screwing up, is maybe they do when you log in specifically to one service, and it'll say, yeah, your settings aren't great for this service. But because it's multi-streaming, the Restream.io should know that, and it doesn't, or it doesn't care. Yeah, it's not doing the job. Or it'll tell you that if you pay them. Yeah, I'm starting to not like how they're trying to, manipulate people into subscribing to stuff by like slowly take. Oh, this is not going to work so well now, but the premium service, with premium, you wouldn't have this sort of problem. Yeah, that's becoming too much of a thing, and even Restream is doing that. They're like, oh, you want one more? You want to stream to one more place? Well, for $12.99 a month, you can have up to 6 or whatever. And they have to monetize, of course. They have to figure out, and everybody can't run ads on everything. Oh, could you imagine if everyone just said, okay, we're all ad-based. We're not going to do subscriptions. Every single service we're going to do ad-based. And you're using like multiple like restreaming services. So you get an ad from your original source, an ad from the restream, and then an ad on the platform you're on. So it's just this multiplication of monetization. Yeah, I've noticed that. I've noticed... I forget something I was watching where somebody built an ad in with a kind of a countdown. They said, the video will start in so many seconds, like the auto inserted ads from YouTube, but it was the video. It was the video that was playing. So I'm like, well, that's odd, because then YouTube is going to put ads in there also, and so yeah, that's a little confusing if you do it on multiple levels. People have no idea what they're even looking at anymore. Let's see. Yeah, I'm thinking of like one of those like weird acrylic paint tubes. That's more like a hair gel dispenser. Yeah, maybe it'll be paint. I don't know what this is, but I don't think this is paint. I like the odd shape, but let's see. Oh yeah, maybe a brush as well. Oh, I see. Right. Yeah, they want me to go back. Yes. Back to school, learning some Twitch. Yeah, I'll never become affiliated. Yeah, I don't think I can do what Twitch needs you to do. Like, I don't think I could actually stream enough on Twitch to build up enough of a following to get affiliated, or be their do a partnership or whatever, because they want, when they do their like little milestones, it's like stream every day of the week, stream for more than 8 hours, or I forget, or 12 hours or something in a week. Some of those milestones are just like, oof, okay. Every day of the week, at least 2 hours every day. Yeah, but I'm sure there are certain, I don't ever need to draw that much, or maybe so, But doing other things, and especially gaming, it can't be that hard to put in those kind of hours for gaming. It almost feels weird, like if you have any awareness that there is streaming, and I'm kind of getting this a little bit with the tabletop like gaming stuff. We want to play games, and we're doing it just online now, like on Roll20. This is a little camera, a little webcam windows and audio, and then there's also a screen or like a tabletop, like a map where you can see what's going on, and then there's a chat where you roll dice and have effects and stuff. And so we're just doing that, but it's like, well, that would be really easy to record. So I keep thinking, why am I doing something that I'm not recording? Because it would be content for that channel. But then at the same time, once everybody knows like you're recording something, then the tone and the atmosphere of a game or any situation changes when people feel like they have to perform, or they're like really aware or over aware of themselves, or feel kind of awkward or whatever. So yeah, that's always a funny thing. But I guess I'm getting like contaminated with that thinking of, I could be creating content instead of just living my life and enjoying time with friends. Yeah, that's so sad. But that's what happens with Instagram people and everything else. It's like, I haven't done anything unless I photographed it. It doesn't exist. I didn't eat any food unless I took a photo of it, because people didn't acknowledge or weren't impressed by the cafe I chose if they didn't see the photo. Yeah, so I think that's the disease of our age, and I don't think my generation is quite psychologically equipped to deal with it. Not having grown up in it, I don't think I have good boundaries or whatever for dealing with it. Yes, I'm trying to get this to not look so falling off the end there. All right. That's a little better. Yeah, wait, it's still selected. There we are. Yeah. Yeah, so it's funny. And so I think like the things that Twitch is adding, in addition to like the IRL stuff and the art, having people do have that creative tag, or even like the tabletop and wargaming, like people are doing role playing and stuff. There's no way you could possibly do that enough to satisfy kind of Twitch's content demands, like how much they want to see you doing stuff. And also Twitch is well, no, I guess YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is that same way. I was going to say the live streaming is live streaming. It's a different thing. It's not broadcasting a live performance. It's interactive, because you have a chat and you have active subscribers and you have super chats or you have donations. So you have people interacting with what's going on. So it's different than it's different in that way from broadcasting something, because you need somebody to kind of be watching that. So I'm noticing that with the weekly. It'd be great to have a third person there to be running things, so we're paying attention to the interaction of the audience. But then that's one more person that needs to give up their lunch hour. I was going to do a paintbrush on this level. But yeah, it's funny. That's also the danger of like something that's just like a hobby or a side interest, is if you make it. I'm just doing all kinds of wrong angles here. If you try to monetize it or try to make money from it, you can suck the joy out of it very easily, because everything just becomes work. And I'm sure even like porn stars and maybe even like OnlyFans, like webcam girls and stuff, are feeling that. It's just like, wow, this used to be fun. When did masturbating become such a chore? Or whatever they do on those sites. But yeah, I have a feeling that there's a lot of that. That people are like, why did I decide to do this as something that is not just in my free time, in my as keep it as a hobby. Yeah, because a lot of things. Once you start doing it more seriously, then you start paying attention to it. Because animation, when I was studying animation, then I couldn't enjoy, like, you'd want to watch animation to see what was going on and see what technology and stuff was, but then you would start to over analyze stuff or just pay attention to the technical sides of stuff or over analyzing story structure or whatever, and then you don't enjoy it. You're not enjoying it as a member of an audience. You're just being hypercritical, and it's not yeah, so what is going on here? There's a weird joylessness to that. Okay, there we go. All right. Yeah, something paint wise. I can do some dabs of paint on the ground there. Yeah. Hey, Joe. What's going on? Oh, sorry. Reacting to my weird commentary. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm gonna get kicked off of every platform just being stupid, just saying random stupid things. I guess it's working. All right. You know what I mean, though, without the all the crudeness, whatever, involved. Okay. That's a terrible wine bottle, though, but donuts and wine would be fun. I've got a lot of empty frame. Maybe I'll try to draw another wine bottle. Yeah, that one's not great. Yeah, I don't mean I can. Or whatever that is. I'm starting to get these weird little configurations of things. I like this package. Yeah, and this is more this. Where is my cursor? This thing here is more of a Japanese donut box. I don't think it's going to read very well. So maybe not wine and donuts. Something else. Just kidding. All right. Yeah, but it's funny that there's sensitivity to words now, and I think Google, maybe everyone's doing that, but I think Google's got it figured out because they have their little auto, their auto-generated subtitles, and so they can do that to any video, and then analyze based on what they think you're saying, topics and things that they don't want to have on their platform. So that's a little scary. It's like things are listening, but they're not, actually listening. They're just going to react to text prompts and things. What is going on here? A wine and cookie pairing. I got to be careful though, because most people don't call them cookies, do they? It's biscuits and all sorts of things. So I can try out maybe separate layers. Oh, taxes, right? I didn't do anything tax related. Of course I didn't, because I take advantage of no posting dates. All right. Oh, I like how all those are together. Oh, maybe this wine bottle is enough for what I need. I don't know if any of this is gonna work. I never do. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know that. So just talking about that kind of weird streaming format. I don't know if that is the way to do things at all. It's enjoyable. I mean, especially like shows like Better Call Saul or something that wouldn't exist. Like there was Breaking Bad and the kind of spin-off show, prequel kind of spin-off show, you don't think would exist for any reason. And so it's wonderful when those things kind of happen because of the weird finances and the weird I think this works. It's kind of crowded. Yeah, just the weird circumstances. It's interesting that certain fun things can happen, but at the same time, yeah, I don't know. Like I just saw a trailer for Army of the Dead, and I don't what's that? It's like one of those things that's like I think it's direct to streaming. I think it's only what's going on here. I think it's only Netflix. And wow, I put those together for some reason. It just looks like throwing money at something to like the that weird Michael Bay movie that came out on streaming only. It was just like, wow, that was very Michael Bay, but that was not a good movie. So they just throw money at names and have them do their thing. Do what you do in that crazy style. Yeah, so that didn't look particularly great. I'm tired of fast zombies. Or now it's intelligent. It's fast and intelligent zombies. And I liked the in like 28 Days Later, I liked that because kind of the birth of the fast zombie was because it was rage. Like it was like not, it was some kind of infection. It was some kind of contagious disease, but it was a rage disease. So that's what made them fast, because they were angry. And I think that works well with the same way like in the older zombie movies, like in 70s zombie movies, they were 60s and 70s, they were slow, but they had the weird like leftover memories. And so like the was it Dawn of the Dead in the shopping mall, where they have this like weird memories of wanting to be in that place. So if it's rage, then it's like anger and frustration with life and what you were when you were alive. Or I like that tone of it, but I don't think they've done. I didn't like because I think the remake of Dawn of the Dead did fast zombies. Dawn of the Dead, yeah. So I don't know. Pretty soon everything is gonna be, I don't like how they're doing these things these days. It's gonna be real fun to listen to. All right, let me put the color picker down here. Let's see. Yeah, that works. I'm gonna do that little yellow cap. Oh, somebody's home, which is good because that means they can answer the door. And I think I'll do that typical kind of red spray paint. Yeah, that should work. Is that too dark? It doesn't look dark on the stream. Oh. Oh, good, good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think that's pretty much the case. It's just if you owe something and you're not paying it. Yeah, I remember. Speaking of tax stories, I got so screwed. My first freelance job ever when I was in school, I did some animation, like some rotoscope animation work for this project, and they paid me pretty decently. Like it was like $700 or something back in the a while ago. So it felt like a ton of money, and and I didn't know anything about 1099s, and I wasn't sure like, okay, how does this appear on the taxes? And they um, reported it, but they didn't send me a 1099. They didn't send me the contractor kind of deal, saying the kind of miscellaneous income that I would then need to file on. And so like one of the first times I paid taxes as a student, I totally neglected, because I think if it's over $150, then they start to get a little sensitive about you making those kinds of mistakes. And maybe I should get rid of this on another level, another layer. So anyhow, yeah. So I didn't pay tax on that, and when it's just freelance untaxed, they didn't take anything out. Just paid me the straight amount. Then you owe a ton. You owe like 30% of that or whatever. Usually, and so I didn't pay it, and I just got this notice of non-payment, and then a huge penalty, and I think I ended up paying like $2,000 or something, all told, by the time I got the notification of how I'd screwed up and what I owed on it. It made me so angry because it wasn't even worth then doing that ridiculous freelance. Oh no, wait, did I? Oh no, it's fine. Oh no, it is. The whole thing is colored. Damn it. I knew it. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, neither of these tubes are closed, are they? But yeah, I never made that mistake again. But that really soured me on doing freelance and contract work for a while, because if you do enough of it, you have to like prepay. Like the way to avoid the high tax rate and penalties is to prepay. So you got to estimate what you may or may not be making, and then pay quarterly tax on it. And yeah, that really I really hated that, having to manage that, especially with the unpredictable nature of what I was doing. I was like going to prepay tax on something that I might never get. That was fun. Did I? Yes, I did. Oh, shoot. Okay, so yeah, I guess I'll just try to draw this out. And then fill it in. Yeah, so that was fun. Oh, I don't need to. There we go. All right. Just multiply. That looks like paint covered water, doesn't it? Yeah, it's pretty close. Should do some stuff on there. Yeah. Yeah, I really that was miserable. But you know, I was playing adult and doing it was my first big freelance gig, so I should have, and there wasn't a great place. I guess I should, you should just be paying for people. I should have paid for someone to do the taxes at that time, not having much experience in it, but just didn't occur to me. Maybe I should do this on this layer. Whoops. No. On this layer. No. Oh, that didn't get filled either, huh? No, it didn't. Okay, let's try that again. So, fill this, and then do this down here. Yeah, and the worst thing about it was that the work didn't end up, like they really loved what I was doing. Oops, I'll do this. They loved what I was doing at the beginning, and then like kind of the second round of stuff, suddenly they were like, oh, this isn't good enough. We're super unsatisfied. So the work just suddenly stopped in a very unsatisfying way. I got totally screwed by the tax on the payment. So it didn't feel worth it at all. Okay, that's better. Now I'm going to fill in everything. Should be some three-dimensional shape. All right. There we go. It's all about paint. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, I lost everything to tax. It's funny how easy that is to do, and how there's, this is kind of pre-internet, so there was nothing to even warn me. I would, I had to go to a tax preparer or an accountant to have any idea what mistake I was making. Like if they would have asked, is there anything else, any other earnings that you've had from this year? Then I'd be like, oh yeah, I did make money doing that freelance. Well, did they, did you get a 1099? No, I didn't, but you probably should declare it just in case they do, which they did. I wonder if that's an excuse though, because I didn't, contest it or anything, but they never sent me any notification. So I wonder if their screw up would have been in my favor. I'll never know. And it wasn't like I wanted to deal with them anymore after that freelance went south. Lovely. I've got to do better than that. I don't know. All right. There we go. Oh. Wait. Let's just do that. Yeah, that works. Cool. I was just thinking about the 90s, like an early 90s. I don't think it was 80s, maybe early 90s, very, very late 80s, maybe. But that British band, I think it was just like a. Well, then they showed like two main, like a guitarist and a singer were kind of the main faces of the band. But that band's, the British group, Everything But the Girl, I didn't particularly like their music. I think they were kind of like a one-hit wonder kind of thing. But I remember hearing the story of the origin of the name of that band. So they were like trying to get signed to a record deal, and the scout or whoever was looking at them said, "Yeah, we love everything, everything about the band except the girl." Because she had a beautiful voice, like as with a lot of British pop, beautiful voice but not much of a face, and so not super marketable, super photogenic for their covers or whatever, their album covers, and or CDs. I guess it was the 90s, and so it was. I love the "fuck you" of that name. I was just like, oh yeah, so that's what's wrong with this group. Well, that's the name of this group then. So we're gonna tour on that name that we can't be successful because of our lead singer, and they just went with that. I love the just the reactive the reaction of that, and then carrying that into it's just like when people like publish their bad reviews and things. I like the defiance of that. It's like, oh yeah, you think that's gonna make us get rid of her? We're gonna dump her because this company said she's not gonna work. All right, there's paint. Maybe I should do some. Well, no, I guess I think that's probably enough. Yeah, I don't know if I have to do anything else. Paint, paint, paint. All right. Yeah, I noticed. I mean, aside from the people that are doing kind of the sexy anime or sexy Japanese style pinup illustrations on Twitch, there's a lot of people actually painting. Like they just put a camera over a canvas or a board, and they're like doing acrylic or oil painting. That's funny to see, and it's such a funny mix of like that's not, that's super analog and not the way most people are even working anymore. But to do that on streaming is pretty funny. But also maybe it's interesting because it is more rare now, so people are enjoying seeing that. The process. Yeah, it's funny. I wonder. I did draw. Yeah, I did do some brush drawings on stream one time for the Inktober. I was doing some of the Citizen Spaceman artwork, and so I have actually drawn on paper on stream. I thought it was all. There's that cookie. I thought it was all digital, but not that one time. But yeah, there wasn't anything. Oops. Particularly difficult about that with the right setup. It works pretty well. All right, how's that? Oh, yeah, it's funny though, the novelty of actually working on paper or canvas. That's sad. All right, what color are these things? Maybe kind of bluish. All right. another wide open drawing. Yeah, I guess I could work a little bit closer to avoid that. Yeah, I just like that drawing, but it's not very fillable. But I don't know if this is gonna work at all as a joke. We'll see. Because I'm sure. Oh, that was the thing too. I cheated a little bit and saw the first comment on the on last week's cartoon. And yeah, my whole premise was like so faulty for that birthday cake subscription. I was trying to come up with something like really awkward or weird, and yeah, it totally doesn't work. And people immediately pointed that out. It's actually pretty easy. In your family, there is at least a birthday every month. It's like, yeah, right, yeah, okay, got it. Oh, wrong layer again. Oh yeah. I never even thought about that. And immediately when I first came here, I was super resistant to teaching, just because a few of the teachers and people that I met were kind of oddballs, and I was like, wow, these are going to be my coworkers or my peers. Yeah, there was some real weirdos that were obviously hiding out in Japan. So I was a little reluctant to want to be part of that. And so resisted teaching, tried to do work as much as possible, freelance and animation work with the companies I was working with before in Los Angeles. And as that got more and more difficult, because I was basically keeping crazy hours, I was up all night and sleeping all day, and making my family wonder, my in-laws wonder why I even came to Japan, if that was how I was going to live. So what's going on here? Oh, this is on a different layer somehow. Great. Yep. So where is it? It's here? Yeah. Yeah, so that was kind of the motivation to try it. But I'm glad it did, because I learned a lot about the school system here, which is kind of a mess. So it was good to go into that with some actual experience in a public school system, to know how screwed up that is, and then also just to feel more normal, and also kind of have some sympathy for how hard and how miserable most people's work life is in Japan. It can be pretty miserable, and the weird kind of competition, like who can stay the latest, is the person working the hardest. But you're not actually getting anything done. You're just like spending time sitting at a desk. So the productivity, like, I think that was like a weird myth that developed in the 80s, and it might have just come from manufacturing and things, because I don't know if corporate productivity was ever very good in Japan, or maybe it was at one time, kind of more during the Reconstruction era. But yeah, people are real time wasters and work really inefficiently here, and it's mostly just caused by the weird stresses and social pressure of a job. But I was amazed by how ineffective a lot of people were, but how they were forced to just work incredibly late hours. And it's like, well, what did you do? Well, about the same I would have done with with a 8-hour workday. And I think I told you before about the sleeping at your desk, if you literally, like for your lunch or, whatever, whenever you're free, if you fall asleep, if you just put your head down and fall asleep on your desk, that is a sign that you are working so hard that you are exhausted, not that you're really bad at like managing your time, or you don't, you have a sleep disorder or whatever. It's actually respected. And I was told when I was a teacher too that if any students do that, don't wake them up, don't bother them, just let them sleep through your class, because they must have a good reason to do that, because otherwise that would be a very shameful thing to do. So they must be doing it because they worked extra hard or they were studying so hard the night before. It's like, well, I don't think that's true, but okay, we'll go with that. We'll go with that narrative. That's a much more optimistic way to look at it. But hearing that was very odd. People are very sympathetic to sleeping at your desk, because it could only possibly mean good things. And so maybe people got away with looking very dedicated to their job while they were sleeping. All right. Yeah, I wonder when I'm going to start boring you guys with repeating the same stories again and again. You said that already. Oh, if I say it, that'll be the challenge. The first time I repeat the same story in one live stream, that will be the shocking moment where it's like, okay, it's time to send Grandpa to the home. It's time to take Grandpa's Twitch away from him. All right. Yeah, I should put some wine in that glass, maybe. Maybe both glasses. Oh, it's not really dark enough, is it? It's kind of pink. That's better. I think maybe that's a little too dark. Somewhere in between. Yes, that's not quite as bad. On stream it looks neon pink. Wow. Oh, that's good. Yeah, don't go into the archives, because you're just going to hear the same things again and again. Yeah, it's funny. This one doesn't seem to highlight very well. Yeah, I guess that's exactly how that would look. Okay. There we go. I guess this is just an odd arrangement of stuff, but it should work. Yeah, I got to be careful, because I do excessive drawing, so I should be careful about what I include, so it doesn't just look like it's just a collection of doodles. Just to, always feel intentional. We'll see. Yeah, so I'll make that adjustment for the video output and see if I can actually get back on Twitch. It's funny though, it still gives me stats on my live stream for Twitch, even though it's like, it's just a black screen for hours at a time. You have no new views because you're streaming a black screen. All right. this works. One bigger. Yeah, that might be easier to see. And that angle's a little odd. I guess, yeah. Cookies and everything. Yeah, like eyes on spoons. That's really disturbing. A little bit better than that. All right. There we go. Okay. Everything's kind of at a weird, it's not quite isometric, but yeah, I'm doing like a weird 3/4 angle. Oh, effort. Okay. Oh, sorry. So let's take a look at how things went last. Yeah, it's a whole weird meal of whatever's in those bags. I'm assuming just cookies. Well, I should have done more like a Pepperidge Farm kind of. Yeah, they're kind of. Yeah, a couple of them are a little reminiscent of that, but not quite the same. All right. Cool. All right, so yeah, let's take a quick look at comments if I can get over to that. Let's see last week. There we go. Yeah, here's the one. 2 comments, 8 likes, so kind of a So monthly, that was April 13th, a monthly birthday cake in a box subscription service seemed excessive. A birthday a month, how old do I look? Thank you, Ed, for saving that. Yeah, so, but Podog points out, if you are married, a birthday a month is quite possible with relatives, friends, and pets. Yes, that's very true. It's incredibly easy to have multiple birthdays in 1 month. I don't know why I was... Yeah, something like a wedding cake or something would have been a better joke. But I didn't draw an elaborate enough cake to make that work. And let's go back to the 8th. All right. Oh, that's right. This odd one. Wow, it got a lot of likes though. That's weird. Or I guess it's an average amount. Those aren't Sedona numbers. That's pretty much how I have to compare everything I do now. It's not how well Sedona did writing this cartoon. The missing peanut butter was later found trying to make sandwiches with marshmallow fluff. All right. Okay, so we got 3 comments, so let's see how this goes. I confess it was my marshmallow and peanut butter sandwich. Nice. It was all the banana's fault. That's right, peanut butter banana. Kinky. All right. The mighty Fang? Favang? Yeah, it's nice to actually have like members of the site commenting. It seems like they're more involved and less less willing to just take shots. All right, look at that sculpted that digital painting of a glob of peanut butter. Yes, yeah, Ed is like all over these cartoons. Yeah, there were some people like that for a while, maybe like 5 or 10 years ago. I would have some people that were like really stuck with the strip. Yeah, but Ed is like all down for it. That's good. Oh, one of the sad ones of the aughts that never got viewed. It made it into books and stuff though, so I guess it works. His outburst was far less satisfying than he imagined. Yeah, I wonder if I should spray paint. Uh-oh, toilet paper. She never expected fragrance and sheet count to be a deal breaker. I can let Miss TP. I can remember when TP came in colors. Yeah, they don't really do that anymore, do they? Because of the cancer risks or what irritation or whatever the risk of a colored toilet paper was. Yes, they still print on toilet paper. Like they'll still print patterns, but they won't do. That's a maybe very 70s thing. I can still remember like going into bathrooms at houses of like, friends or neighbors or whatever, and they would have like toilet paper the color matching the bathroom. So if the bathroom was like all green and the tile is green, the toilet is green, the toilet paper is green. So they literally made matching matching toilet paper. She had only loved him for his distinctive butter cookies. That's right, that's one of those Danish butter cookie tins. That's what it's supposed to be. Distinctive butter cookies. I can't believe it's not really butter cookies. All right, 11-year-old comment. Oh, there's 5 11-year-old comments. They both look really disappointed. Cannot you please find another name for this strip? There we go. There's one. Tim Turtle says, oh, I like this comment. Oh, that's great. Can you please find another name for this strip? When you're in this comic, you've hit rock bottom. All right. My wife loves me for my distinctive butter cookies. If that were only a thing, I would try to cope. I can't believe. Yeah, it's not real butter cookies. Yeah. So this is, and of course, a non-member, somebody just kind of ventures in here for free, and it's just like, the name of your comic strip is offensive and sucks. Oh, Tim Turtle. Yeah, but those felt like I used to get a lot more of those. Oh yeah, here's a weird one. So here you go. This is obviously beginning of the digital era, and this was drawn completely with like a shift click kind of perfection. So it barely looks hand drawn, except for, maybe the mouths are a little, they're not perfect curves. But yeah, this was a real shortcut bad cartoon, because it's just done terribly. He sat there amazed at his ability to be not just a box, but a box of boxes. A men among men, a box of boxes. Multiple personalities. Yeah, chromosome. So yeah, P. coli and chromosome. Yeah, used to be really regular. 8 years ago, they used to regularly be on there. Maybe he's a she about to deliver. Ooh, hey man, why are there so many boxes? Get out of your box. Can you think outside the box? All right. Yeah, 2013. Oh, there's an oldie. Black TV. Yeah, that's right. Nice. A barrage of tennis. The barrage of tennis practice was always the hardest on the beverages. Oh, the poor thermos. Was it full of what? Gatorade? Another one. Missed. Here's another one. I think this has made it into a few collections. His precise nature was the source of all his frustration. Air fresheners. Expired air fresheners no longer scented the air, but they still believed very strongly in eliminating odors. Okay. The beliefs of the products. Oh, geez, 8 comments. All right, no likes and 8 comments. So what kind of nonsense happened in the comment section here in 2010? The longer he considered his situation, the worse it got. All right. This is one. Oh, a friend didn't own an ironing board, and his attention deficit burned a hole in his carpet. Can you smell what the iron's cooking? Some wrinkles just can't be ironed out. I would get bored of ironing. Heat ironing. What's an iron? I have an ironing board. DH got it free. DH got it free somewhere and uses bags of lead to stabilize it so he can use it as a shooting bench. Oh my god, I have no idea what a lot of is going on in that sentence. LOL. This is one hot comic friend with statements like that. Statements like this, I won't ever need to consult a professional. Psychologist. Interesting. Wow, this is a weirdly active but not liked cartoon. That's very funny. And here's a can of soda lost not only his carbonation, but his will to live. And he hung out with butter, I guess. Yeah, a lot of suicidal. There's an early one, too. Yeah, potatoes. I think those made it on. Those were a sticker at some point. I don't know why you'd want a couple of funky potatoes on a sticker. It was becoming harder for the potato to lie about his age because he was growing the little eyes. K5's got all the angles. Artificially pre-used toilet paper. Growing collection of bottle caps was inevitable. Neither of them could admit they hadn't received a page in decades. Wow, old pagers. They feel so out of date. 7 years ago. All right, one more. Can you please name this cartoon something else? Oh, the butter cookies clung to the last bit of oven warmth. Oh, look, they're huddled up. I drew huddled up cookies. All right, another 06 that nobody saw. Nice. All right, so are we gonna try to write these? Let's see. So sorry. Sorry. I did it again. Now yeah, I went to save? No? Okay, sorry. The text tool. So I'm going to... Sorry. Okay, right in the middle. Yeah. So I'm still here. I'm doing okay. All right. So yeah, I went to the text tool. Of course, is T. I don't know. This is a cursed stream. Okay. Anyhow, so I just got to be careful what I touch, and I'm going to move away from OBS, and I'm only going to be in Photoshop. This is the worst. Oh, man. All right. The stream is trying to tell me something. It's had enough of this this nonsense. All I was trying to do is find out if I had spelled wine pairing correctly. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's AI. Just in case it was like some weird French. Okay, we're in Photoshop. We're not changing the stream. All right, we're good. Something seemed off about this wine and cookie pairing. All right, that's all I had for that one. And yeah. Bye. Well, goodbye then. Jeez. Yeah, it was the toilet paper talk. I bailed on it. I was like, I can't handle it. Can't handle what you guys are talking about. This is the worst. All right. Okay. So yeah, so paint wise. Oh, the brush. The brush isn't a little thing, is it? Maybe I should do that just in case. I think. So terrible. All right, there we go. Cool. We're still live, right? Wow. Not only can I not stay on Twitch, I can barely keep the stream going. All right. What is this? No, I'm going to have to take wrenches away if you're making me look like such a fool. Oh, no. Thank you, Joe. I'm bookmarking that right now. The Beginner's Guide to Streaming on YouTube. Stop ending your stream mid-sentence. The first thing to do is keep streaming. All right. So, yeah, I was thinking about the competitiveness or the frustration with yeah. So nobody. Something about just paint could be sprayed, or the realization that paint could be sprayed. So you want to stream on YouTube because you can't do it on Twitch, obviously. So why were they wasting all the water when paint could just be sprayed? It was hard to this idea is a little too long, but but something about paint being sprayed. I'm good, Joe. I think I'll get this Twitch thing worked out pretty soon. Yeah, the curse of the keyboard shortcuts of the opposing keyboard shortcuts of OBS and Photoshop. Maybe I should make a video about that. Make sure you know which application you're in before you start hitting S or T for. Yeah, I think the T is. I named that the end scene thanks, and so you hit a T, and OBS goes, "Oh, you want to end the stream?" I should number them because then you could do numbered scenes would be much easier because you would never make that mistake. All right. Oh, and then I went to rename it, and of course, then it you have to have it active to. You have to click on it to rename it, so that's why I kept ending the stream. All right, but that'll be fun right in the middle there, a little treat for people that are falling asleep. They just get that music, the piano music starts blasting. Okay, so he couldn't understand all the wasted water when paint could. I guess I could go the other way too. Could just be sprayed. I guess I could go the other way too about not harming the environment or whatever with releasing dangerous chemicals. He couldn't understand all the wasted water when paint could just be sprayed. Oh man. Yep, I'm in a totally new and foreign world of trying to stay online. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't know if something. He didn't get instead of couldn't understand, or he didn't Couldn't accept. Yeah, couldn't understand is the least funny but the most clear in the meaning. Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't find out the reason. I'm suspecting it's OBS. I'm suspecting it's just however that OBS is reacting to the cam link, because that same exact cam link used here, streaming with all the exact same equipment, except the PC is different. There was no problem. So yeah, I'm having a suspicion because I was using the same cable, same camera, same the interface that's converting the HDMI video into the USB source. So all of that was different, just how the computer was set up. So I'm imagining OBS. So I'm going to try to do the Streamlabs OBS as a test and see if that has the same trouble. If it didn't have the same trouble, then I think it's, however, something that source in, because it's very difficult, specifically for that camera setup. It takes a few times of installing or creating the source, the instance of the source of that camera, of that cam link input, for it to actually show up, and then it likes it if you give it its exact pixel dimensions is exact, like 920 by 1080. So it wants that as well. But yeah, I don't know. I was just constantly freezing. And that computer's been restarted. Like it's not like it wasn't sitting, and I don't think it needs updates either, because that was usually the first thing I check with OBS. But I'm going to try the other flavor, because it's really cool though. The Streamlabs version of OBS has all the things built into it, and it also lets you import everything you're already using, all your scenes and sources. You can just import into the other version, so I don't have to reset anything up as far as all the music and titles and stuff. Because that's the most frustrating thing with starting that setup from nothing. Because as you remember, I lost all my my little convenience store door chime and everything because of that. But yeah, and I don't think I think it's it should be okay. I'll give that a shot, and if the Streamlabs flavor of OBS is working fine, then maybe I'll just reinstall the OBS on there or something. I'll try something to see. But I think it's a software thing, because it just keeps kind of kicking out that source, not recognizing it, or not allowing that video source. And this same exact setup, except different PC, doesn't do that. So, and I'm even going in, it's definitely the USB 3 or whatever. It's the blue faster USB connection, so it shouldn't be that. So yeah, it's fun, all the troubleshooting for that. And it just started happening, like it more recently started happening. So I don't know, maybe a fresh install. But if I can test it and it totally works fine on the other version of OBS, then I'm pretty sure it's software. Couldn't understand all the wasted water when paint could just be sprayed. Couldn't accept something stronger, something more. Yeah, understand, I guess. Yeah, it's close enough. It seems like it should be funnier. Ah, yeah. Yeah, that would be really cool to have everything set up so that I could have I think that I've seen those. Yeah, like what Joe's talking about, those stream decks that you have like a control board where you flip scenes and screens and do everything, but you're doing it from a little pad or a little screen. That would be nice, because then if I wouldn't be confusing things, that would be nice. I wonder if you could just turn off, because I don't really use keyboard shortcuts. I wonder if you could just disable those in OBS. So I quit doing that. I quit like randomly flipping scenes Because I think I've got a few scenes in here, like configured in here, that I don't have any, like the sources are either dead or it's something different. So there's a few sources that would be really garbage if they flipped over to them. A few cameras and stuff, you know, that aren't there anymore. Okay, he couldn't understand all the wasted water. Yeah, I guess this clear but not that funny version is okay. Where's the... There. Where's the layer that I want? Sorry, just give him a little... He's been lied to all these years. Yeah, smaller. There we go. All right. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, someday I would love to have a much, much nicer, especially for the tabletop stuff, and have somebody actually run, like have a producer running things, and then do all the in front of camera stuff. I would actually, yeah, even though even though my ability to run this stream doesn't show that I have a lot of competence, or the other stream for as far as that goes. But yeah, I would love to do that. Just the producer part of it, not be talking, not be in front of the camera. That would be nice, but just not how it works out. Yeah, that actually might be part of the reason that my first setup, I didn't even want to like point the camera at my face. I put the camera over my, you know, kind of over my shoulder. That's very funny. So I didn't even think about that. So the first live streaming I did, like literally the camera is here. Yeah, so stupid. All right. Yeah, I guess I'll go with this. So we couldn't understand all the wasted water when paint could just be sprayed. His conversion to graffiti art. All right, something seemed off. Oops, about this. Check spelling. What's going on? There it is. Yeah, that's weird. There must be some... Yep. Something seemed off about this wine and cookie pairing. And he couldn't understand all the wasted water when paint could just be sprayed. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember you talking about that, Joe. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I had one of those. It wasn't so amazing. It was some like racing game or something on Xbox when it had first come out. I was looking at it, and it had been mistagged. Like it was labeled 1999 or 9.99, like the clearance stuff, but it was a new game. And I took it to the register, in the like electronics thing. The guy is like right there, and took it to him. Is this price right? And he's like, "That's what it says, so that's what I'll give it to you for." So he didn't give a damn about about what he was charging. It's like, yeah, that's what the tag said. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll buy this. I wasn't really considering it that seriously, but that was funny. Yeah, I love when employees are just like, yeah, whatever. That's what it says. Go for it. All right. Cool. Well, those are done. Oh, nice. That's funny. The store then closed. Yeah, I wonder what things are looking like. I guess though some of the the big box retailers were protected. They were probably both given money and then allowed to stay open as well, just like, you know, reinforcing masking. Okay. So let's make these up. Yes, I got a lot of work to do to kind of rebrand podcast thing. So yeah, the weekly is going to be its own thing now. I'll do a website, I guess, as I registered theweeklylive.com, although it may not be weekly and it may not be live, so it'll be an extra pointless name. The will always be true, though. The part is good, but weekly and live may change. But yeah, I think I'm gonna. I don't know. I think I should maybe just do like a whole network thing, and then everything that I'm doing, put it under there. Except not this stream, but everything else, like all the hobby stuff, put it under one new name to make it easier. Because otherwise, it might get a little confusing. Shoot off this way. Okay. But we'll see. Okay. Yay. Oh. $3.99. Nice. Nice. All right. Well, let's do a quick convenience store. Sorry. Cough right into that microphone. Am I still here? What's going on? I don't have my windows are totally out of control here. All right. Here we go. Boom. Oh, that's right. I'm still in the candy shop. Well, this works, because this is definitely a candy shop candy. This is only like 100 yen, so like, 80 cents. So here it is. Oh, it's keying out. So it's yellow. It's I guess, kind of a greenish yellow. So Moroshu, I think is, so that's kind of the Japanese sound of saying the beginning of marshmallow, Moroshu. But also, maybe the shu is kind of squash shu, because as you can see, where does it say? Oh yeah, as you can see, this is you can't see any of this. It says lemon squash flavor. So lemon squash is kind of like a sour soda drink. Here, I don't know if I think that maybe came from England or something. Squash, yeah, but they have orange and lemon squash. But anyhow, and sometimes it has like actual fruit in it. But this is a bizarre thing I found that is completely invisible. So not only is it a weird sour lemon flavored marshmallow, but it also contains 1,800 milligrams of collagen. So I think they're trying to get the girl group, the girls in there to say, oh, this is good. That's collagen is good for your skin. And there's a lot of aloe and collagen jellies and yogurt things around here, so that kind of thing. So sorry, this was by Kandro. So I don't know, let's see if they have it's a very old looking company name, but yeah, oh, they do a lot of this kind of nonsense. Yes. Oh, they do. Yeah, so almost all this kind of I never recognized that logo before. All the kind of gummy sweets and stuff they do. So I'm really curious about how this is going to taste, or what the consistency is, because it feels very squishy. Oh, and that's interesting. This window is yellow. It's clear plastic, but it's yellow. But the marshmallows are not yellow at all. Look at that. Just kind of off-white. That's weird. They tried to make them look more candy colored than they actually are. And they are weird. Yeah, really weird. They're like jellies. They're not really very marshmallowy. Yeah, it's just gelatin they're made with. Like a gummy. So they're like really soft gummies. But yeah, but like little marshmallows. I wonder what that shape. Oh, this is the shape. Yeah, so the shape of them is supposed to be like this little teardrop, little kind of Dragon Quest slime looking shape. Yeah, they're not very sour. They're not very anything. They're very collagen though. I can taste the collagen. No, they're really odd. I don't know who this is for because they're not sweet enough for little kids, and they're not because it's I don't know if you can tell from the texture. It's got that sugary texture, so it's kind of coated with sugar. But actually, the jelly thing underneath has almost no flavor. So all the flavor is on the outside. Maybe all the collagen is on the inside. Very weird. No, it's barely sour, which is weird because lemon squash usually means a pretty sour drink. But you can tell there's a little bit of that sour powder, like, you know, kind of Sour Patch Kids or whatever, have that real puckering kind of sourness to them. This barely does. It's a little sour. So, must not be for kids. Who is this for? The name is so odd. Maroshu. 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 Tsukiri. Maroshu. Maroshu Maro. Oh, Mashumero. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that is the Maroshu Maro. So this is kind of the weird Japanese pronunciation of marshmallow. Yeah, it's not good. It's really strange. I don't understand. And it's resealable. That's great. I don't understand what they're going for there. And that's also odd. That's a very rare thing where they're actually kind of weirdly dishonest on the front of the package, because usually this would just be a clear window and you would see that they were just white marshmallows. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. It's a little bit, as it's like dissolving in my mouth, it gets a little bit more marshmallow kind of texture. Yeah, but not in a good way. These are really bizarre. But I eat 3 of them. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough for forever. Very odd. Yeah, so so unless you're really collagen deficient, I wouldn't go out of your way to find some maroshu. Maroshu. Yeah, lemon squash marshmallow. They're definitely not marshmallows, and it even says there's like gelatin. They're just made from gelatin and starch and some kind of seed oil. And collagen. Yeah, oof, really, really odd. So I'm not sure who that's for. If that's like a young girl's thing or something. It's like one of those like diet and worrying about your complexion kind of snacks or not. They do have a lot. Like a lot of the diet food here is jelly, like a konyaku, which I think is like it's made from the starch of a plant or a root. I'm not sure if it's a beet or whatever, but it's a vegetable kind of jelly that they make that has almost nothing, no calories, nothing, and so they'll put vitamins or something in it and then make it a diet snack or dietary supplement, because you eat it and it kills your hunger because your stomach feels like it has something in there, but there's no calories to it, so it's almost like this natural appetite suppressant. So they have that a lot in those kind of astronaut food bags, you know, those I think I've had a couple of those on the stream. But those plastic bags with a little spout on the top, and just kind of suck the jelly out of that. But this reminds me of that kind of school of stuff. Is just stuff to make you full and not, because they're not. Yeah, calorie wise, they're pretty light. 12 calories. Yeah, so pretty light. As far as candy, yeah, they're pretty not a thing. That I don't know what that is. That was really odd. I have no idea. I have no idea what we just did. Yeah, so it's a marshmallow coated with sugar, but not a real marshmallow. Yeah, so it's kind of a simulated marshmallow that does melt a little bit in your mouth, coated with a little bit of sugar and sour, but very light. Like it almost doesn't it's not that peep. It's not like a peep. Like it doesn't have that consistency at all. And so when you're chewing it, it doesn't have that like that chewing granulated sugar taste. It's really powdery and light and very odd. So I don't even know if it's actually sugar on the outside, like very much of it. See if they even list it. Yeah, it's got some rice component to it too, to the jelly. Weird. Okay, and a lot of collagen. Yeah. Ugh. But it wasn't fake sugar though. That's good. It wasn't the weird chemical taste. It just didn't have much taste at all. Oh, that was unfortunate. All right. So I'll try to do better next time. I almost went with what was it? Mayonnaise covered or mayonnaise flavored potato snacks. Maybe I'll do that next time. Because potatoes or mayonnaise and like French fries and potatoes is an odd thing. Is oddly popular in Japan. They have like literally a tiny little mayonnaise bottle that's meant for your purse because girls love mayonnaise with everything. It's like an 80s Japanese thing, but they make a little Kewpie mayonnaise, makes a little like purse size mayonnaise bottle so you can take it with you just in case they don't have mayonnaise. Ugh. All right, so I hate when they're disappointing. Oh. Nice. K5's moderating a giveaway stream. And you could win cash on Amazon and Steam. Oh, cash on PayPal and then Amazon and Steam. Nice. Yeah, go ahead and post the link if you want to, K5, if you want to get some more eyes on it, because yeah, and this usually sees some viewers in the archive as well. So yeah, so take a look in the chat if something is going to be. Oh, it's the same guy there. Oh, cool. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and post that if you want to, K5. You have the power. Yeah, that's very cool. So take a look in the live chat now for that link. Oh, if it exists yet, yeah, maybe it doesn't exist. Or what? Any information you have is good. All right. Well, pretty light, pretty light stream. Pretty incompetent stream, but pretty light one this week. Oh, did any of you guys get? I mean, you might have had like direct deposit or whatever, but I didn't have anything set up for my taxes for direct deposit because I've changed bank accounts since I've been in Japan, my American bank account. And so I got my last, whatever it's called, your economic help check on a credit card. So it was like a disposable, like one single use, or not single use, but like you can't refill it. It came on a credit card, and it had all these stipulations and kind of a cheesy website that supported it, but had everything on. The funds were on the card. You had no idea what was on there until you like log in and activate the card. And then it tells you your balance, and then it gives you a schedule of fees that if you overspend it, or if you have to change currencies, or if you use an ATM, a non-approved ATM. So you could actually like lose a ton of this money just by like ignorantly like using it in ignorance and thinking it's a regular card or whatever. So the only thing to do is like immediately like transfer all the cash off of it, the balance off of it. But I was like, why is this on a credit card and who is doing this? And then I remembered Biden is a Delaware boy, and Delaware is the credit card capital of the world. So yeah, that must have been a that felt a little suspicious. I felt somebody's friend is making some money. Whoever is like the company running this card thing, because it doesn't really have a one of those like plain weird government type things. It feels like a credit card company. So it felt suspicious. And the funniest thing about it is in the outside of the envelope, it said this is not a scam. Basically, it said, this is directly related to your electronic whatever, payment. So they had to list that on the outside of the envelope. Wait, I think I've got it within arm's reach here. Wait. Sorry. Okay, without doxing myself, it says, not a bill or an advertisement. Important information about your economic impact payment. And it was the card that contained the payment, but in big red text I had to put that because it looks like a fake credit card that someone would, like a scam would send you, activate this card today for your whatever. So that's very odd. I would prefer to get the rainbow, the rainbow government check than a creepy credit card payment. But that was odd. Yeah. Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, no, I'll definitely, if it's happening this weekend, yeah, I'll definitely hit it up. Oh yeah, I have a forwarding service, so I have a physical address, but then I have mail forwarded. Yeah, they won't send it abroad. I had to have it forwarded. Yeah, so it costs a little bit, but it's nice because I get a bunch of statements and stuff that they can't do electronic, like some of my royalty payments and stuff for cartoons. They can't do as electronic. They want to submit an invoice or it's not an invoice, is it? Yeah, I guess it's an invoice. They want to submit the records of everything, and so I physically have to get those somewhere, and then I just forward them to myself here because they won't spring for the international shipping. And it also, it gives me an address in the U.S. as well, so that's a good thing. I exist. There's a lot of people that I know here that, like, they really don't exist anymore in the U.S. because they haven't paid taxes in more than a decade. They haven't had a physical address or anything. So that feels a little weird to me. Like when I first gave up my American driver's license because I couldn't, the renewal, I'd have to like have a relative or something, go in and file the paperwork. And I think it was eventually I was at the point where I had to do something for the renewal, like a signature or something. And it's because I wasn't physically there. I wouldn't be able to do it in time. So I just gave up my American driver's license. That was really hard. That felt really weird because I have a Japanese license as well. But because I just, you work so hard for that. That's like one of your first big accomplishments as a American kid. And so not having that felt really strange. Yeah. Yeah, very strange. Yeah. So it's just some things I still will get hard copies of. So I have to like have a way to have that forwarded to me without having to ask someone to send me stuff in the mail. So there's a lot of forwarding services now too. So you can even do pretty complicated, like they have cargo and shipping services. So you can, move a lot of stuff through forwarding services now. And some of the services will even like bid or like get bids on shipping, like if you're moving furniture or whatever. I was really surprised. There's a lot of different. I'm sure now in the bad weather world that we're living in, it's probably pretty, it's not good business. The rates are terrible, and everything is slow. But just paperwork is easy to do. All right. Wow. Well, the marshmallows were a failure. Yuck. But I'll probably pop back on Idle Red Hands, maybe for one of the last times, because I think I'm going to rebrand that pretty soon. So I'll pop back on that channel, and I think I'm just going to rename that channel, so it'll stay the same. If you're subscribed to that, I think everything just rolls over, with a name change. It doesn't make any difference. So I'll do that, and I hope I don't wreck. I hope that doesn't wreck the algorithm or how those videos are doing, because the videos are doing well, and that would suck if renaming the channel fucks things up. We'll find out. I guess we'll just have to start again from zero. But I will, I'll be on tonight then. So probably early morning for you guys when the rooster is crowing. I'll be unboxing something or doing something. Yeah, I think I'll do maybe a flip through and an unboxing. I don't know. I don't know what to do now. Yeah, so it's all up in the air. So I'm gonna kind of restructure a bunch of things and maybe try some different stuff that I haven't done before on the other channel for game stuff, because it's all monetized and good to go. So we'll see what happens. But yeah. Oh, I will. Yeah, it's a good idea, K5. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll do a lot of. Maybe I'll even do like a video of like the change. Yeah. Oof, that's a lot. It's a lot of work because I'm gonna have to build websites and then populate the RSS feeds for the break up episodes off of the podcast and kind of separate stuff and then make RSS feeds separate and then submit all of that stuff again. Yay! God damn. All right, so I got a lot of work this week. So yeah, so no weekly. Again, to remind you, Joe. Yeah, I won't be back for the weekly tomorrow afternoon. We'll skip a week. And I think I'll do a post on the channel about that. So yeah, so we'll see what's going on. Oh, yeah. Okay, I shouldn't have thought about that because now I have no energy. God damn. Okay, so that'll take a while. So yeah, I'll give you the new name and what I plan to do with that, and yeah, just forward some links and stuff. So everybody that wants to check that out can. I think that's gonna do it for this week. Yes, fun. So yeah, but it'll be new. I mean, something new is it'll be interesting. I can kind of come up with a different look or a different style for everything, because I was doing like kind of grunge and burnt paper and stuff for the other channel, so I can do something like a cleaner look or a different, more some kind of other logo. I might use that same font though. That Beavis Nue is pretty nice for big clear titles and stuff. I think a lot of people use those, mostly for political channels, but I like how readable that is. Anyhow, let's do this again next week. So yeah, I definitely will as soon as I get some as soon as I get things started to switch over. So right now it's just it's still Idle Red Hands. So I will be back tonight on there we go. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen with this renaming stuff. Yikes. See if this works. So I'll be back tonight on this channel. Is this the channel? Does it work? Yes. Cool. So, and yeah, and that's what's going to get, I mean, it'll still exist. The website and everything that's on will still exist. And so maybe on that website as well, I'll put some new links so it's findable. But yeah, everybody take care. It was good to see you, Rev and K5 and Joe. Joe was the first one on, I think, today too. First on stream. And Damon, thanks for hanging out. And sorry everybody on Twitch. If you watched a black screen this whole time just to listen to the voice, I will fix my my bitrate problem and do some tests and see if I can get back on Twitch stream. So nice. So take care, everybody. Be safe, and we will do this again next week. And hopefully I'll get something that tastes a little bit better from the convenience store. But look at my skin. It's beautiful now because of all that my 100 milligrams of collagen that I just ate. All right, everyone take care. See you next week. Goodbye.